Oh, smack my microphone. What's going on, guys? It is your boy Zach, aka Swag Subi, and I'm actually at my desk this time around. I'm not in my car. I'm not in the garage. I'm not outside. I'm gonna film a different style of video today. So first of all, before I get into this, Happy New Year to y'all. How was your New Year's? Mine was pretty good, pretty chill. But I want to thank y'all for the support on the last video. We got a lot of new subs. I think the channel is currently at 355. So shout out to all the new subscribers, all the viewers, all the people who commented. I really appreciate the engagement on the last video. I honestly didn't expect that video to do well. I kind of was just I was kind of just yapping, honestly, but hey, man, it did well, and I enjoyed the engagement. I love reading you guys' comments. I love responding and seeing what you guys have to say. So yeah, I appreciate the support on that video. And 2026, we're honestly just gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep uploading, and yeah, let's get into it. The last video, I talked about what it's like owning your dream car early. So in my case, 2024 Subaru BRZ, that's what I have. And why you should probably hold off on it, why you might want to go ahead and jump on it, things of that nature. But basically, in part of that video, I was talking about how back then I didn't really have an appreciation for a lot of other platforms out there. But the more I got into cars over the years, the more I started liking other platforms, the more I realized that some cars out there have a really good value for dollar. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Today is purely hypothetical, right? But I'm going to be talking about cars that I would buy if I hadn't bought my 2024 Subaru BRZ. So let's get into that. All right, so I've actually been thinking about this for a minute. I have a list on my phone here of just cars that I've written down. But yeah, most of the cars on this list are gonna be under 30 grand. I would actually say most are under 20 grand. Some are gonna be in that 25 to 30 range, but most are gonna be 20 grand or under. So some of these cars are gonna be, assuming I traded in my old car, down payment, and bought the new cars cash. Some of them are gonna be, I kept my old daily driver and I'm using these new cars as a project car. I'll preface that as we go on. It's actually going to be the honorable mentions, and I'm going to explain why I would not buy these cars, right? Okay, so number one on the list is going to be the V6 Mustang. Any EcoBoost Mustang, any generation. Listen, I see them going for under 20K all day, but now I might get some hate for this, but at the end of the day, it's not a V8. Okay, I said it. It's not a V8. I just feel like with Mustang, I have to go V8. It's V8 or bust. I don't. In most cases, right? Now, if we're talking about a project car that we're gonna take to the track and drift around, V6 Mustang, the value per dollar is there. You can find them cheap. They're super reliable, but I don't know. For me, like if I'm hopping into a Mustang, I really just want that V8 experience. I just want that raw V8 power. Even though the V6, I think the V6 makes like what, 300 horsepower, somewhere around that range. Still super quick, but I mean, it's just not going to be the V8. It's not gonna hit the same. But I mean, for a first car, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But for me, I don't know, man. Like if I want a V6, I would just get a dedicated V6 platform. I don't know about the V8. I mean, I don't know about the V6. I just with Mustang, I just it's V8 or bust. I'm sorry. All right, and the second car on the honorable mentions list is gonna be the Nissan 240 SX. Man, I love these cars, but I also like money, so it's a no for me. The next car on this list is going to be the Mazda FD RX-7. Love these cars, but I also like money, and yeah, it's a no. Now we're gonna get to the actual list. So the first car that I have is, oh, surprise, surprise, a first gen BRZ, right? So the thing about the first gen BRZ is that it's a lot cheaper than the second gens, and you can pretty much do the same thing. I mean, I would say if you're going down the modification route, I would say just pick up a first gen. It's literally the same except for the chassis and the motor, couple suspension differences. But I would say if you're going down the modification route, then the value per dollar is better on a first gen. I see first gens going for under 30K. I see them going for under 20. Like if you look for an FRS used, you can probably find one for under 15K all day. It's the FA20, so it's not the you don't get the extra 0.4 liters of displacement, but I mean, if you're gonna modify it anyway, like you're gonna go the forced induction route, like who really cares? I mean, they're both pretty much capable of the same horsepower numbers when we start getting into aftermarket. So yeah, it really just depends on looks, but value per dollar is definitely better on the first gens just because they're used, they've been around for a while, you can find deals. And yeah, I mean, it's more or less the same car. I would say I bought the second gen just because it looks better. So that's just my personal preference. But yeah, those great cars. Oh, okay, this is a good one. BMW 135i. Now, this is a car I've been interested in for a long time. You know, y'all know N54 twin turbo, solid car. Like for the money, like for what these cars go for, it's almost kind of like a no-brainer, bro. I think even shout out to you in the comments. I think someone in my comments on the last video recommended this car, but yeah, he's right, 100%. Like the value per dollar is there. But if I were to get one, I think I would keep, it would be smart to keep my dailies. I could have kept my daily, and the money that I spent on my BRZ for a down payment, I could have used that money and just bought the 135i. I could have found a good example on Facebook, bought that outright, bang, immediate project car. That would have been incredibly fun. I mean, I see a lot of like those builds online. Again, downpipe tune, single turbo, flex fuel, you're going. They look good and they have good power potential, strong aftermarket support. I mean, what more can you really ask for? Like, honestly, if I were to do it all over again, that might be the route I go down. But then again, I mean, that is a lot of car for a beginner, such as myself. Like, I've only been driving rear wheel drive manual for I guess it's pretty much the 2 year mark, right? So I'm that's a lot of car for me personally, but it'd be a fun project. I mean, they look good, they're cheap. If you already have a daily, you don't have to worry about it breaking. I mean, I don't see why not. All right, this next one I have on my list, this is kind of a sleeper pick in my opinion, but we're gonna go with the Toyota MR2 SW20 generation non-turbo. I see these on Facebook going for under 20 all day. Like in my shoot, I think out of all the JDM cars, like the old like Halo cars, I see SW20s more, like at least in my area. Obviously, I'd be keeping my daily and using the money I spent on my BRZ to buy that car. But come on, man, you cannot tell me that wouldn't be a fun car to drive, man. You can't tell me. This is the non-turbo model. This isn't the turbo. The turbo can go for like over 30K, depending on how clean the example is, depending on model year. But the non-turbo version going for under 30, I mean, dude, that would be a cool little car, man. I mean, we're talking aftermarket support. It's got that old school look, that old school feel. I mean, it's just as much of a driver's car as like your Miata, your 8.6. So, you know, those are cars I like. I like the driver-oriented cars. So that'd be something I'd be interested in. Also, it's mid-engine. I mean, dude, come on, that's so different, dude. A mid-engine, rear-wheel drive manual for that cheap. Shoot. So the next car on my list is gonna be the Nissan 350Z/G35. And the reason I'm putting them in the same category is because for the most part, they go for about the same. I mean, I see them both going for the same number around that 5 to 10K mark, depending on how clean the example is. If I had to pick between a 350Z and a G35, this might surprise a lot of people, but I'd actually pick the G35. And the reason is because I don't see enough G35s, man. Like, we all make fun of that car for being like the takeover car. Anytime I see a G35, they're just clapped and destroyed. It's just like, I don't know, man. The cars look good and they have potential. Like, you can make a VQ sound good and you can make a G35 look good, bro. So I would get a G35 just because I know I can make it look good. I know some other differences. I think the G35 actually has a longer wheelbase, it's more of like the luxury version of the chassis, whereas the 350Z is the more like roadster, like track version of the chassis, if that makes sense. But I would still rather own the G35. We don't see enough clean ones out there, so that's why I would have one. And honestly, if I'm looking for a drift car, I think I would get a G35. So that might actually be my next car. Next car I'm going over is going to be, excuse me. Next, dang, voice crack. Next car that I'm gonna go over is gonna be the Honda Civic Si, specifically the FC3 generation. I believe that's the 10th generation. Honda boys don't murder me. 10th generation, I believe. So that car is cool, man. Like, it took a while. Let me just look. It took a while for that car to grow on me, but like, the more clean examples I saw, the more I was kind of like, okay, no, I see it now. I see it. I understand it now. I mean, they make about the same power as my BRZ, and they're front wheel drive instead of rear wheel drive, and they're manual. So again, an enthusiast car. You can have one for under 25K. Let me check that actually. Yeah, man, I mean, I'm seeing these online. They're going for like 17, 18. Yeah, right around 20. So, I mean, pretty good value. You know, large aftermarket support with it being Honda. Tunability is there. Customization is there. The driving experience is there. I mean, it's Honda. It's going to be reliable, so you can daily drive it. That would be a cool car to own. Next car on my list is going to be the Lexus IS300. It took a while for these cars to grow on me, but after looking at some modified examples, very clean car. I mean, my ideal spec for that car would be manual and sunroof. That's it. And that could be had for under 20K all day. I know automatics go for around like under 10K, but if you're gonna buy a slow car, it needs to be manual. I've said this multiple times. I believe I said this in my last video, but slow cars need to be manual. They have to. So I would need a manual one, preferably one with a sunroof, just because I like the sunroof. But yeah, man, I mean, if I had that car, I would just make it look cool, throw some wheels on it, body kit. I would probably use it as a drift car. I mean, like if I was looking for drift cars, my next option besides the G35 would be an IS300. They are driftable. They have enough power. You get the 2JZ, but I think it's the GE, so it's the naturally aspirated version. It's solid for what they are. They make around low 200 horsepower, I believe. You get a manual. It's rear wheel drive. Like, they look cool. Aftermarket support is there. Dang, why didn't I buy one? But yeah, no. Super clean car. I think if I wanted a drift car that I can just get into for cheap, I can throw cheap mods at it and just beat on it and not worry about it, the IS300 is definitely like top 3 for me. All right, so the next car is going to be the Honda S2000. Now, these cars can get expensive. If you find a clean example, they can easily go for 30K. I paid 34 out the door for my BRZ. I can definitely find a S2K in good condition cheaper than that in my area, guaranteed. Like when you think of driver experience, what do you want? You want a high revving motor that you can just rev out. You get a manual, it's rear wheel drive, it's small, it's high revving. Shoot, you can drop the top in some models. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, it's a really good driver's car. Aftermarket support is there. All right, now the final car on my list. This is y'all's favorite car. I feel like anytime someone mentions BRZ, I hear this car's name. I just hear it in the background. It's gonna be the C5 Corvette, guys. The C5 Corvette. People love comparing the C5 Corvette to the BRZ. I don't know what it is, but like anytime somebody mentions, oh look, I got this BRZ, bro, you should have bought a C5 Corvette. You should have bought a C5 Corvette. It's like, but a part of them, like, I get it. It's a great car for the money. And if I was keeping my daily, I would definitely get one because you can get a C5 for around, now assuming it's not like a Z06, like we're just talking like a base model, right? Base models, you can get them under 20K all day. Corvette owners, they take care of their cars. You don't have to worry about them being clapped. But yeah, C5 Corvette, LS1, great power, manual car, rear wheel drive. I mean, it's essentially the American RX-7 in terms of looks. So the value for money is definitely there. And I see why people say to go with that car than to buy some of these newer cars on the market. At the end of the day, all of this comes down to personal preference. Buy the car that you want. But there are deals out there if you're trying to experience different things. And yeah. But yeah, all right. That's been my list of cars that I would have buy if I didn't buy my BRZ. If you have any other cars that I should look at, let me know in the comments. Matter of fact, if you had 30 grand, right? That's too high. That's too high. If you had 20 grand, tell me what car you'd buy and what you'd do to it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, should I trade my BRZ in? Should I sell it? Should I get one of these cars? Let me know. Yeah, like, comment the video, helps with engagement. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.